evening, everybody. Welcome to Stocks and Stuff. And Luis Rodriguez is here just to see the Coke scarf guy. How about that, Luis Rodriguez and everybody else? Because it is a Trump speech tonight. We will be checking it out. There you go.
Oh, why do I care?
Hold on. I'll put it on in 1 second. But first, all information presented here is for educational, informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. And here you go. Now I'll put it on for you. That will be the Trump thing. And I swear, I'm logged in.
I care because I want to make a
difference.
I
know I have an account anyway, but there it is, and it's not on yet. So you guys keep me posted. We'll run through the market, and then I'll see when this thing's going to be popping up here. As a matter of fact, let me do this. I'll put this up on the other screen over here so I can even pay attention to it. Why don't I just copy and paste this link so I can see it? And then we'll know exactly when it comes on or somewheres like that. And then I'll flip over to it. We'll listen.
Proud to report that our country is...
Is it on already? Hold on. This thing's not even on. Hold on. Let me refresh this thing. Hold on a second. I think it's already on. I just put that thing on there.
After the worst inflation in 48 years, the wide open borders with millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, including criminals of all types, and 11,888 murderers, many of whom killed more than one person. We had transgender for everybody, men and women's sports, crime ravaging our cities, and the whole world was laughing at us as a nation, but not anymore. 2 years ago, our country was dead. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. America is respected like we have never been respected before. We have more money being invested in the United States than at any time in the history of our country. More Americans are working today than ever before. This week it was announced that inflation saw the largest monthly decline in more than 6 years. Just happened. It was just given out. The media reported it, and we accept it. The best in 6 years. The tax cuts in our great, big, beautiful bill are saving hardworking families thousands and thousands of dollars, like with the provisions, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, along with the interest deduction on a loan used to purchase a car, but only if that car is made in America, and a 100% expensing for our job-creating businesses. Our stock markets are at their highest point in many years, but we can actually say of all time. And your 401ks, pensions, and retirement accounts are setting records every single day, the highest in history. For years, we paid the highest price for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. Now we pay the lowest price under my most favored nations policy because I was able to get the rest of the world and the pharmaceutical companies to act responsibly. Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%. TrumpRx.gov, this will ultimately reduce the cost of healthcare. You have to go to TrumpRx.gov and take advantage of it.
Nice
but the cost of healthcare is coming way down because of what we've done with prescription drugs. And with Trump accounts, every child in America now has access to a tax-free investment account to save for their future. Billions and billions of dollars are being invested, put in by companies and individuals to take care of our children so that at age 18, they will have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in their account, and they'll get off to a great start in life. So for that, go to trumpaccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child who'd like to sign up. Our previously wide open borders have been transformed into the most secure borders in the history of our country, with zero illegal aliens being...
Peter Piper used the smart buying tools from Amazon Business
not
and positively prospered.
Put it on there. I'm telling you, I have an account.
My feet are killing me.
And I have no idea why it keeps doing this.
Schultz, new
I just
life
put
for your
logged
feet.
into it. I watch the YouTube
with the
TV
murder
all
rate
the time.
at its lowest level
idea
since
why it's doing that.
1900
It's bullshit.
or more than 125 years ago. We're making a record investment in our armed
do that
forces,
shit
and we
more.
have the strongest and most powerful military by far anywhere in the world. I built it during my first term, and unfortunately, we're forced to use it now. We won in Venezuela, which is now working with us to produce millions and millions of barrels of oil. We are likewise winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed because no country can be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your country, because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness. And that's very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years, I've called for bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure, one where cheating and interference are not just difficult, but virtually impossible.
That'd be good.
Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short
It's terrible.
of that standard.
I talked
Tonight,
about
I'm
this morning.
announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence, revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure.
Oh, really?
This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes, and really exposes like levels never thought possible, to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. Just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you, the American people, our beautiful, our great American people. But that all changes right now. The documents we will release starting tonight have been gathered by the White House government
Nice. Let's see some
Transparency
documents.
Task Force, a great group of people, along with the staff of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board, supported by our top intelligence agency chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the findings. We are presenting this evening and fully confirmed their authenticity. You can see these documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov. Go check it out. Our purpose in disclosing this information is not to weaken confidence in election, but to earn that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And that's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle,
Anyone know where it's at?
the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files.
They are crazy.
That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other nefarious activities, which is exactly what was happening. This data loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China assigned a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compounding the travesty, the second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, many cases, in our intelligence agents who work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling, covering it up from both the president and the American people like nobody thought was possible. U.S. spy agencies began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020 when they discovered that tens of millions of voter data, think of that, tens of millions of voters' data
documents, guys.
in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country, a standard, very pat line that was divvied out to say. The cover-up of this colossal security breach is even more disturbing in light of the additional information showing that China engaged in other election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our 2020 campaign. They did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win.
I can't find it, guys.
And for good reason. As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote, in mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his reelection. Isn't that nice? Also, in mid-2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections and later the results of the 2020 presidential election itself.
That'll be a good game, Louis Rodriguez.
Separately, in mid-2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot, when actually your president has done a great job. And they did everything possible to do exactly that. Going on, this document says, and this is by the CIA, the strategy included efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the president of the United States of America. The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. president and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him, as many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted me to lose is because they knew I was wise to them, charged them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and built the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. These are exact quotes from the CIA reporting. The name of the person doing the quote is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden. Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefings I would get almost every day. Everything was kept out that was of importance.
That's crazy.
One email among intelligence analysts admitted that they had, quote, deliberately massaged the presidential daily briefing to withhold information regarding Chinese activities related to the election. Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press. Other officials who witnessed such efforts perceived the motivations to be blatantly political. Recently, we found significant numbers of burn bags in formation, and this is a group of bags that were used to destroy information given by President Barack Hussein Obama to be burned. It was supposed to be burned. These bags were supposed to be at a different level by different people, incinerated and checked, but it never happened. Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that was supposed to burn the bag. But the findings are stunning. Today, I'm asking the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people. Yet concealing China's meddling was only the beginning. The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems. Dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Tonight, we're publishing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long known these machines are extremely exposed to attack. As one assessment states, we judge that the United States adversaries, including at a minimum Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, as well as non-state groups, have the capability to compromise U.S. election infrastructure. That's unquote, but that's some statement, isn't it? Made by supposedly great patriots of our country. The document goes on to further state that, quote, we assess that centralized election-related data repositories, such as voter registration databases, poll books, and other official election websites are most vulnerable to exploitation, and adversaries could use this access to these systems to disrupt election processes within the United States of America. Tonight, we're releasing all of those findings, and spanning from January 2020 to June 2026. This is a cyber threat aimed at the very heart of our democracy. Many people have questioned whether it could actually be possible to electronically manipulate vote totals or change election results on these terrible machines. Today, we are releasing documents that show the CIA obtained reporting of a specific plot to do a big number in favor of the corrupt Maduro regime in Venezuela. And that's exactly what happened, conspiring to digitally rig their own country's elections in 2020, and that's what they did. This reporting included precise details about methods to regime develop to digitally alter vote totals in ways that could not be detected even with an audit, no matter how deep they went. This intelligence underscores why we must take urgent action to ensure that our own system can never, ever be hacked or compromised like it was in the past. The fourth set of documents reveals that even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and covered up. Among the disclosures tonight are FBI files detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in Michigan.
Elon,
in 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. And we're so concerned by what they found. They were just so concerned. They couldn't believe it, actually, that they contacted the FBI in Detroit. The documents state that some canvassers admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words, it was pay, play, and cheat. The FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed, yet the Biden Department of Justice slow-walked the investigation and killed it. Tonight, I'm asking the FBI director to ensure that the matter is fully investigated and to work with the Department of Justice to prosecute those responsible for any crimes. Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review, state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since
almost done
Democrat states refuse to share their voter files, the real number is actually much higher than that. Yet, even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote. Put together, these disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable that no one can possibly defend it. It is not defensible. Hundreds of millions of U.S. voter files are in the hands of foreign governments. Our machines and ballot counting systems are exposed to hacking and manipulation and corruption. China and other countries have been trying to meddle in our elections. Evidence of fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people are listed and active on the voter rolls. And yet we still have elections with no voter ID, no proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of ballots floating aimlessly through the mail. As one example of the insanity, California's recent election for mayor of LA and governor was held on June 2nd, a long time ago, but it was just completed a few days ago on July 10th. Think of that, much more than 1 month.
Holy shit.
Took a month to count the votes. I wonder what they were doing.
That's insane.
This is worse than any third world country. There's no third world country that has elections like we have. In a rare move, NBC and ABC Fake News have both said that they would not cover this speech. They knew what it was about because of the fact that they don't like the topic, because they know how corrupt our system is and they don't want to reveal it. They and others in the media are part of a plot. They want to continue this fraud for whatever reason. They want to keep it going. They want to protect the radical left. They can't have
They
a
get paid.
great country, and that's true. You can't have a great country without free and fair elections. Fraud like this should mean a revocation of their licenses. They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. They pay nothing. All we want is honesty in our elections and honesty in reporting. They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar assets. Great damage has been done to our country. Our elections were left vulnerable to being rigged and stolen, and the trust of the American people was lost. This cannot be allowed to continue. Every American, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere in the world. Secure election.
We're looking for people 40 plus
guys.
who want to actually master
crap.
Claude in 28
I'm telling you, I'm
days.
signed in. I
No
don't
free
know
time
what the heck
needed,
it's doing.
just
I
10
have
minutes
the
a day.
stupid YouTube TV.
Nextera gives you
I watch it all the
interactive,
time. That's how I
bite-sized
always
Claude
watch the
lessons
games.
on prompting.
Not be a
I
partisan
don't know
issue.
why.
It should cause to unite us, not to divide us. This should be a cause. We should be united, not divided. In light of the brand new and irrefutable information I have revealed tonight, my administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the People's Republic of China and many others. We will be working closely to mitigate any harm, and we're taking swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected, so we can never be
Just trying to find out about our voting
we can never be
system and
hacked,
Go through the info.
and we can never watch
go
a
through
stolen election again. Tomorrow, the Secretary of Homeland Security will hold a briefing to outline his department's recent work confirming cyber vulnerabilities in our electronic voting systems. They are bad. We're in the process of informing governors, senators, and members of Congress of potential issues in their states. If you look at voting today, it's in such bad shape in so many states, and we are committing to fix it. And we're also committing to be working with those states and local jurisdictions to help them fix and patch known technical vulnerabilities before the midterm elections. We have very important elections coming up. We want those elections to be honest. I've also ordered DHS to notify every state about non-citizens on their voter rolls and direct them to remove all ineligible voters from the lists immediately. But most importantly, addressing this crisis of election security demands that Congress must pass the Save America Act. How easy is that to do unless you want to cheat? The only reason you wouldn't do it is you want to cheat because your policies are so bad and your candidates are so pathetic that you can't get away or can't get elected any other way. This landmark bill requires that all voters must show photo voter ID. How simple is that?
So simple.
Could I have your photo, please?
No,
Photo voter ID. All voters must provide proof of citizenship. Are you a citizen of our country, please? And hopefully there will be no corrupt mail-in ballots, which if you watched California and so many other places, mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt.
You heard my
so
story.
You would have no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, and military deployment, or travel if you're going away on business or vacation. These reforms are urgently needed to stop the vulnerabilities that I've mentioned. To all Americans, I ask you to pick up your phone tomorrow, call your representatives in the House and Senate, and demand that they pass the Save America Act without delay. Together, we will restore faith and confidence in our country, and we will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
There you go, everybody. I'm just going to X out of these bad boys right here, and then let's do our show. So here's stocks and stuff. There's a Trump speech right there on voting, and of course, he set up the speech with how well the country's doing. I'm not so sure that's going to pump the market right there. It didn't sound like anything was getting pumped for tomorrow. So if you look at this market from today, not www, we're not going to a website. We're trying to go to the Qs right here, and they got dumped down. What is going on? Look at that. They even came down further in the after hours right there. They got destroyed, and I don't think that speech is helping them. Where are they coming down to, guys? What do you guys think? They coming down past the 700 right there. We were saying that was like where they were coming, but this I think might be 686 or 694 right there. So we may have a nice dip on the Qs. And that speech didn't look like it was going to hold him up tonight, so he didn't really do anything to really pump the market. SPY was looking really good going into today. It actually didn't look too bad this morning, but then it did get run down there. I don't even know what I just hit, but yeah, it didn't look too bad. Yeah, that's today. That's the after hours right there. So yeah, it pulled back, ran up, and then it did pull back towards the end of the day right there. And that is what the SPY did in your IWM right here. Let's see what that was up to. Of course, it was down. I know that. But it was kind of bouncing around. And I know it was up first thing this morning. It was ripping right there. Look at that thing. And then all of a sudden, it started to come down right there. So that is what your IWM looked like. And let's take a quick look and see what our oil looks like right here. USO pulling back at the moment. And that is dipping down. And I thought these things were going to try to have that little weird look and try to pop up there, but they don't look like they really want to. Oxy right here, sitting on that trend line. Again, they're in weird spots, look weird. But then again, the whole market's weird. So what are you going to do? And that's what's going on with your oil right there. And let's just go through our Mag 7 and all that first, and then we'll do the other things and go through and see what you guys want to look at. And Loading Capital had a couple up there, Palantir, Nike, and Into. We'll look at them bad boys. And Laptop Travel hanging out, Luis Rodriguez and Jared I saw up there, and all kinds of good people. So everybody hanging out here. So Paul, how are you? I'm glad you tune in the mornings and you're hanging out this evening. Thank you. I appreciate it. And everybody else tuning in, greatly appreciate it. Here we go. Let's look at the market, see what's going to be popping for tomorrow, or at least what's going to happen tomorrow. It's a Friday. Trump just did a speech about voting, and nothing real crazy about the markets. He just said that they were at all-time highs, but that didn't matter. And so let's see what the market's going to bring us tomorrow. Here we go. Amazon does look like it could be pulling back a little bit more right there. And how about Google today? Holy cow, this is one to talk about right here. Look at this thing. What was it, 218 or something I said earlier? 207. That's what, 208, 207. That's when it was. Look at that candle right there. I mean, holy cow. That thing took a nice dip. You don't usually see Google with a candle like that, Luis Rodriguez, and Laptop Travel and everyone else. But apparently the EU orders Google to open Android and search data to rival AI, as Bloomberg reports. Gemini 3.5 Pro launch delays, and I guess that's why it dipped, is that Gemini launch delay or whatever is going on there. And like I said, I was talking about it earlier. If you checked out the TrendSpider show today, Gemini is actually really good for making images and videos and them jingles, Luis Rodriguez. So yeah, it's good for that. I wouldn't be searching content on it. It's really not good for that. It's not as good as ChatGPT or even X or anything like that you need research. But it is really good for videos and stuff and images and things like that. So it does have its purpose. I do like it for that. So I think that should be like their niche. They should make it really clear too. Like, don't use this thing for research. Just use it for this, and you'll be good. And you use all the different AIs platforms, the main ones, for different reasons. So I would say it has its niche, and it's used. I use it, and it is good. I even pay for the thing. So yeah, it does make images. That's how I make all the thumbnails. Actually, it's so easy. It makes them really nice and easy, and then if you have to the prompts are super quick and easy on it, and it just does exactly what you really want it to do. And not everything. I don't think ChatGPT is as good with images, to be honest with you. I just think the Gemini is better. Let's put it that way. And what did you say? There you go, Laptop Travel. You're ready to talk some stocks right here. And when you say Trump only has two focuses, grifting for himself and his family, and the midterm. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that, Laptop Travel. I can't disagree with that statement at all. That's for sure. And Google right here, I can say that it looks beautiful, but it is still over that trend line right there. And maybe it gets a little bounce off. Maybe it was a big overreaction, and it does try to rock and roll tomorrow. We'll look at it. And then look at Meta was down like $16 too. So they were both down $16 today. Meta down a little bit more, pulling back. And again, doesn't necessarily look terrible right there. And it could bounce back up. Microsoft right here looking pretty decent as of today. And then your NVIDIA right here was dipping down. That does look like it could dip down a little bit more right now. And Tesla was down as well. And that looks like it could try to pull back a little bit more right there. So that's what they look like. USO, like we said, is pulling back. It does look like it wants to come down. Oxy right there also coming down. Let's look at our futures real quick. Your crude oil is up a little bit. It does look a lot better tonight. I was looking at it. Brent looks a little bit better. And that gasoline, heating oil, natural gas. So you may see these things try to pop back up tomorrow. Look at that VIX trying to jump up. Cocoa took a big dip right there. Orange juice and coffee all dipping down, and sugar as well. And it looks like your wood's getting more expensive right there if you're doing any home projects. There's your lumber prices, feeder cattle coming down, live cattle. Holy cow. Look at that. I don't see the grocery prices coming down, but somehow live cattle's coming down, feeder cattle coming down, and orange juice and coffee and all these things dipping down like cocoa and stuff. Where's the prices coming down at? I don't see any. In fact, I think they're all still going up right there. So that's interesting. But your VIX is your number one day performer right there. And it doesn't look bad, honestly, to keep going tomorrow. Let's just see what else is happening right here. Our energy stocks right here. I just wanted to get a closer look at these and see what the oil and the Brent, they don't look bad. I'll tell you that. Let's take a look and see what this Brent looks like right here. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like it's trying to curl up right there and get up to that 50 on a Friday, Michael Anthony. So I wouldn't be surprised if Brent and the gas and oil ones do get moving. Here's your gush. It was up a little bit, and that looks like it wants to run up a little bit more right there. And that's how you spell boil. It was down. And that looks like it could pull back right there for your natural gas. So we'll take a look at them guys right there. And what CVX right here, Chevron, that was up, and ExxonMobil right here was also up, and that looks really good. So you can keep an eye on Chevron and ExxonMobil right there because they look pretty good. And like I said, these gas ones do look pretty good right there. So let's take a look and see what else is going on with our semiconductors because they were pulling back pretty nice. AVGO dipping down all the way to that trend line right there. Does it come down to the 200? It certainly looks like it wants to be honest with you. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down some more. MU is getting destroyed right there. And that doesn't look very good. That looks like it's coming down. And again, I was talking about like maybe there's a flash crash or something. Maybe that's tomorrow, guys. On a Friday, some flash crash, set a buy order on MU down here at like $500, and maybe you get lucky. That might be crazy. Same with Sandisk down here. That looks like it could flash crash down there to like 810 or something. So there you go. Just a little look at that because I don't know if they're going to slowly go down there, but they certainly could. That's for sure. And if they are, I would say it's going to be like this quick dip and, them candles that come down. Maybe you get lucky and get triggered on a buy if you had them in there. So think about that right there if you'd like. And then TSM right here, let's see, because that was dipping down. They did have earnings there, and I think they beat their earnings, and then it went down a whole lot. TSMC plans up to $265 billion U.S. investment for as many as 10 fabs right there. So there you go with TSM. And let me see what else is going on with these semiconductors because AMD was pulling back to the 50. It looks like it could come down some more. And Intel is pulling back, and that looks like it's going to come down. And TSEM was pulling back pretty good, too. And looks like that's going to get rejected off the MACD and pull back a little bit more right there. And then our favorite QCOM right here is taking a nice big dip right down to the 50. And I mean the 200. What am I saying? 50. I confused them earlier on the Trend Spider. But anyway, that's coming down to the 200, I'd say, but not looking so good to try to bounce right there. And let's see what else is going on with SMCI because that took a nice dip right there. And you remember when I was saying this, I wonder if that dude ever got out of that. Remember he had him at $30, and I was like, you should probably get out of that bad boy. And it went right around $30, and now it's at 24. I said, you might get lucky with a nice bounce up for that, but if it does the next day, get the heck out of it. It was right around here. Maybe it was back. I forget where the heck it was, to be honest with you. Maybe it was back here. I don't really remember, but it did dip down right there. And I don't remember who that was either, but there you go. I just remembered having that conversation with somebody. And let's see what our software is doing because they were even pulling back. Snow, a little pullback. Now a little pullback right there as well. And let me see what's going on with CoreWeave because that has been pulling back pretty big. And look at that thing. I would say CoreWeave might be coming down to that trend line at 65 right there, Michael Anthony. So might want to keep an eye on that thing dipping down. I know you're a big CoreWeave fan, and Oracle's been dipping hard. Look at that thing. That's a bloodbath right there. Oh, my goodness. Oracle just getting destroyed right there. How about Adobe was up? I mean, makes sense of this, but Adobe looks pretty good right there. And that looks like it could continue to go up. What did they do today? I have no idea, but Adobe goes up, and the rest of them are getting crushed, so I have no idea. Autodesk and what was that doing? ADSK. I have no idea either. I forget. That was up today too. We had that on the list the other day. I remember I had it written down on the stocks to look at. So there you are with Autodesk, and that was up as well right there. And let's see what Dell is up to. That was pulling back today pretty good, and that one might be coming down to that 50 as well. And then, of course, IBM right here. That one's been pulled back, and now maybe you might get that bounce back up. I don't know, though. I can't say that's definitely ready right there. Don't have a definitely ready look. It is curling up, but I could see it staying down there a little bit at the moment for IBM. And Palantir right here is also looking pretty decent, trying to crawl back up in that 20s, trying to meet up with the 50 right there and push it back up a little bit. So keep an eye on that. How about SoFi right here? Is pulling back, not looking as good as Palantir at the moment. And Strategy was down and looks like it's going to be pulling back. Bitcoin at 63,805. Ripple's at what? 109 right there. Cardano's at 16 cents. Ethereum's at 1,858. And Solana's at 75.38 right now. Chainlink's at 832. and not looking that great. In the crypto world, let's just take a look at the charts and see what's going on. But yeah, that's what it looks like right there. Even World Liberty's a little bit red. DOT is looking pretty good there. Not even familiar. I have no idea what this is, but it looks pretty good. And I'm pretty sure this is Bitcoin Cash, if I remember correctly. It doesn't have the name, does it? I don't even know. Bitcoin Cash. There you go. See that? BCH. I thought that's what that was right there. But anyway, let's look at Bitcoin and see what that's doing. And that is got over the 50 right there. Now the 20's curling up. You could have a little bit of pullback to the 20. Nothing too crazy right there. Ethereum looks the same way. Look at that popping up there. Have a little pullback. It's nothing serious, to be honest with you. Ripple still hanging on right there. It doesn't look terrible. Solana was actually pulling back pretty good, but it does still have that 50 right there. But the 20's kind of over top of it. We'll see if it can get a nice little bounce play going. That's for sure on that one. Doge looks like it's going to pull back a little bit more right there. And what about Cardano? It looks like it wants to pull back a little bit. So some of the big ones look all right. Some of these smaller ones look like they could pull back a little bit more. Chainlink could pull back. Let's see what our Stellar's up to. It looked a lot better yesterday, and it does have a little bit of pullback right there. Here's TON right here. And that thing is was trying to curl up. It's hitting the 20 right there, and just a little bit of pullback. Sheeb, haven't looked at this in a while. That's way down. Holy cow. How about Optimism? We haven't seen this one in a while. That's dipping down as well. And you want to look at Trump USD, anybody? Because that's pulling back right there. How about World Liberty right here? Even that one's pulling back. It was trying to get running, but it doesn't look too bad, like a little healthy pullback there today. And it could get cruising again. So there you go with some crypto ones. And we even looked at some different ones. And I don't even know what that is. POL. I'm not sure. Polygon Labs or something. I'm not familiar with this one, to be honest with you, but it was run up, pulling back. I bet it'll run back up after it gets back down here. So if you like Polygon, check it out. H-bar has been way down as well, and that's beaten down. So there's some crypto right there for you guys. And let's see what else is going on in this crazy market over here. We got Robinhood. That's pulling back pretty big. What happened here? Anthropic's ODE AI services launched triggers. Software disruption fears slamming hood. What the heck are they talking about? Zero DE. It's not zero DTE, so I don't know what they're talking about. I thought they were playing zero DTEs in like the queues or something. I'm like, what are they doing? But Michael Anthony, what are they talking about right here? Does anyone have any idea what that means? I have no idea what that's even saying. But if anybody knows, let me know what Hood's news was and break it down to me like I'm a dummy, because I can't figure it out now. Coinbase right here today. They Visa launched a new Visa stablecoin platform built on rival OpenUSD challenging Coinbase partner Circle's USDC. So remember, Circle was doing that. Is that why it was down? I don't even know, to be honest with you. I couldn't even figure it all out. I saw them down. I didn't know what the heck was going on. Circle's down right there, and that is circling down a little bit. So that's what they look like at the moment. And Webull right here actually wasn't looking too bad, but it is pulling back a little bit right now at the moment. So there you go. That is what it looks like right now in the old platform ones and your trading ones. And Space right there, still trying to get set up. This thing might even get rejected. I thought this thing was easily getting curled up. Look at that, trying to get rejected all of a sudden. That's an interesting look, to be honest. And Lockheed Martin dipping down right there. Huntington Ingalls was also down pretty big, coming down. And then Northrop Grumman was pulling back as well. I think that was up early, and then now it's down pretty big right there. RTX right here dipping down. We didn't hear any news about Iran in that speech. It was just about voting and how great the country is at the beginning. So nothing really pumping it either, but that's what that was. And then Boeing right here is down as well, and that one couldn't even hold its support. So there you go. Michael Anthony, I'll check it out for you in a minute. Hold on, let me just roll through this list. I listened to you, Michael Anthony. You act like I don't listen. I even read all your stuff. I was on the when I was on the Trend Spider show today. Michael Anthony hopped on, and I appreciate it, Michael Anthony. But I was just hopping on there as a guest, and so yeah, Mike is like the host of that show, and it's his show, and I'm just on there to talk about some earnings and whatever else, and keep the time going basically. And Michael Anthony was telling me to look at like all the stocks and stuff, and Mike is like, "Who is this guy?" I was like, "Michael Anthony." He was like, "What do you need?" And I was like, "Oh no, the guy that's listening." And I think that happened last time too, Michael Anthony, as well. You did the exact same thing. You like when I hop on at like 3:45. You seem to tune right in. But yeah, that's what I was doing today. But I'll get to everything. I promise you. I will listen to you. Look, he's been telling me something, and I'll get to it. I promise you, Michael Anthony. You know we'll cover everything. I never let you down. Trust me. And let me just finish this list right here on this side, and I'll just blast right through the space ones and them because they look terrible. Let's put it that way. But Disney right here is up, Luis Rodriguez. We both thought it was going down. It showed us, huh? That's how crazy this market is. And McDonald's, there's that bounce play. I did talk about this thing should pounce up in this red market, and it did. And I mean, it didn't look like it wanted to, but again, when they look like they're about to jump off the cliff, that's when they run. And Nike right there was popping up. So there you go. And I know some people were already talking about Nike, so that was looking pretty good there today, that's for sure. And then Netflix got crushed in the earnings, and that's what I was on TrendSpider for right here. And you want to hear something pretty crazy, guys? If you guys were on there listening, we were trying to figure out what it was going to do there, and I actually said at right before the close, you know what, I already explained it on there, but I'll tell you how I got to that. How I figured it out is because I saw it starting to run up right there at the very end, and I've watched these things in earnings, doing them with Ben and everything for a while, and I know the chart patterns. And then I was like, right at the end, I was like, well, I wouldn't be surprised if it like pulls back, runs up, and then dips down right there, because originally I said I think it's just going to go up, and that was basing it off of the chart right here. This wasn't even green. This was a red candle right there, and I even said that, but I said I don't know. It just looked like it wanted to go up, and it still kind of does, and it got destroyed right there. So it did look like it wanted to go up, roll off the MACD, and go up over to 20. That's how it looked. I did originally say that, but then as it started at the very end of the day right there, and I saw it doing this, I was like, huh, it's going to do that. You're going to see some really crazy candles right here, and that's exactly what happened. It was a big pullback that minute, started to run up, and then took a massive dive when the news came out. That's why I asked Mike, what time does it come out? And he said 4:01, and I just changed my tune real quick. I was like, this thing's running up, like it's going to dip, pop, dip down, it's over. So I did say that in the old on the show in the TrendSpider, but again, it's just based off of that pattern that they do this, and I picked it up just doing them with Ben, and I just started to see that happen. It's that moves so fast, guys, that it's so hard to like. For me, it would be, I guess, just play it where here, don't worry about the spike up, and then know it's coming down. But this market's wild. Let's do that. And yeah, Nike is just doing it right now. Looks like it's bouncing right back up. What was their news today? I'm not even sure if they had. Did they even have news? Nike ran out of U.S. soccer jerseys. That's what it is. Oh wow. And then they get Nike tariff receivables, put cash flow in focus, so they probably got a ton of money back. So I asked before, where's this money coming from? All this tax info, or this tariff money that these companies are getting. Where's that all coming from now? I have no idea. Does anyone have any idea where that's all coming from? If you do, explain it. If not, I'll have to ask like the internet, because I don't really know. And AMC right here was just sitting right there. It wasn't just doing a whole lot today. And GameStop was down, and that wasn't looking so good. Remember, we were saying AMC wasn't looking so bad there. I think AMC might try to pop up. GameStop is dipping down there. And then this monster right here. Look at this thing, guys. I mean, can you believe this thing right here? Getting right through that. It's going to continue to run. I wouldn't be surprised if you see 105 now. So that's a monster right there. That's for sure. For those of you that love your Monster Beverage Corp right there. And then again, SpaceX way down at 131, 127 in the after hours. We did say it's going down to 100. Did we not? Look at that thing right there. That got destroyed. And And SpaceX shares fall after the company abruptly aborts its second Starship V3 launch attempt moments after booster ignition at its South Texas site. So they did abort their launch right there tonight, and that did make that thing crash down today. So, or tonight, I mean, obviously it was already coming down today, and then it really came down. Did somebody know that? I have no idea. Just like Trump's teleprompter guy. Did you guys see this? Somebody posted. I think it was either Lewis or Laptop Travel. Where was it? Let me see. Yeah, here you go, Lewis. His Trump's teleprompter guy literally was committing securities fraud. I'm not even kidding. He was trying to bet things on Kalshi, or was he betting them on Polymarket? One of them things. But yeah, it was so crazy. I think they had to fire him or something like that. But holy cow, he said, gee, I wonder who he learned that from. Yeah, you're not kidding right there. But anyway, let's go through this market in space, because space is going down into a black hole right now. I don't know what the heck's going on, but it's not looking good. ONDS getting destroyed. ASTS is just getting murdered down here. I thought it was going to stop at that 60. It said, no way, I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to just keep going down. UMAC, not so good today. And then Redwire got destroyed too. And they don't even look good, guys. I'm not going to lie. If they pop back up tomorrow, I'd be surprised. Rocket Lab not looking very pretty right there. And Mobilicom right here was trying to pop up, but that is also a drone software company in Israel. So we'll have to keep an eye and see if Mobilicom wants to do anything. And what about Laser right here dipping down, but has a lot of support, but still looks like it wants to dip down some more. And Galaxy was dipping down pretty hard. Look at that thing. Holy cow. That looks like it's coming down pretty good right there. And then your DXYZ. I did say these guys were setting up, right? DXYZ. Echo came way down right there. Holy cow, that got destroyed. And DXYZ was looking a lot better. We talked about that last night. For some odd reason, it looks a little bit better right at the moment. I'm not sure if I'd even touch it, but it does look a little bit better. What about your critical metals right here? That took a huge dip, and I'm glad we were being patient on that, because USAR, UAMY, and all these guys look like they're coming down too. So maybe them Qs are coming down. We get a little flash crash tomorrow and everything dips down. MP right here dipping down pretty good. That doesn't look like it's holding itself up at all. And then your 4Us right here was dipping pretty good as well. Uroy, this thing was dipping too. So, I mean, none of these guys look good, Michael Anthony. What about your UEC was dipping down 7%. So your uranium play is coming down right there. ASPI, that was pulling back a lot, over 10%. It was over 13% as a matter of fact. And then some of the nuclear ones, NKLR, it was trying to set up. You're going to see some pullback right there now. Oklo was pulling back. SMR, that had some pullback right there. And then your nano nuclear was down almost 10%. So all of these guys coming down right there. Nothing really looking that great. EOSE right there, that's coming down. That's for sure. We looked at Gush and Boyle. Gush was looking good. Boyle not so good. UNH, that was trying to spike up. Remember this morning? It was way up there. And now it did come down. It did spike up this morning, and then it is pulling back right there. It is trying to run back up at the end of the day, so I'll have to keep an eye on UNC and the healthcare. Oscar right here dipping down pretty good, and MOH was pulling back pretty good right there too. So they could continue to dip down at the moment, so keep an eye on that. That's your healthcare ones. And then let's see what our quantum ones, we did say these did not look good. And here you go. QUBT, these were all pulling back. They look like they're going to pull back some more. QMCO had that curl up look, and that's getting rejected. That also looks like it's coming down. DDD, your triple Ds is coming down right there. And IO and Q getting destroyed. That's coming down to 30, I would assume, right there. QSI coming down. And QuantumScape not looking so good. So, holy bloody market right there, guys. And ISRG has been Luis Rodriguez's favor. He mentioned it before. It did take that nice little dip, but he is popping it up there, and then did get crushed down, and holy mackerel, that thing got destroyed. Oh yeah, we were looking at this thing. What am I talking about? It did get destroyed. This had its earnings afterwards with Netflix and came down, so we were looking at that bad boy. That did get destroyed as well. and everything getting destroyed in this market. Nothing stands a chance here except for Lucid. They're pumping it right back up right there with the rumors that they were going bankrupt, and then they said no way, and Rivian was dipping down right there. And what about Burnham pulling back? And then our wrap right here was down as well. It might be wrapping itself up and pulling back right there. Pfizer, let's see what that's up to, because that was up, and that's looking pretty good right there. I did see that up today, and that does look really good. Pfizer looking pretty good right now, guys. You can keep an eye on that one. What about our TTD? And that's Trade Desk right here. And that thing was down, and it is trying to get set up right there. It's not exactly ready. I'd wait for it to come down and then try to roll off that MACD to try to run. So you might have a little bit of pullback right there. Figment, our purple dinosaur, was down. Software also pulling back. We did look at that. And UCO is down right there. SCO is popping up a little bit, but they don't, I mean, it is trying to crawl up. UCO was trying to dip down, but they could get reversed around as well. Your Greenland was down a little bit right there. And then your triple U's right here was also down. So there you go. That's what we were looking at. And gold and silver, they were down pretty good. I told you they weren't looking good. Silver was going down as well. And they both don't look good, to be completely honest with you. What about DJT? How's that up right now, guys? I have no idea. But it is hitting some resistance, and it should come down, but I don't even know how it's even up. And then that Clean Spark had been up, and that was even pulling back right there. That didn't even want to hold itself up right now. VMAR took a big old dip right there, that's for sure. And Unity right here was taking a dip with the software ones. Here you go, Michael Anthony. Your new skin was looking good. I mentioned this today in the Trend Spider because you had posted it up there. That KOS was down. I saw that dipping down. And that Poet right there was pulling back. And that could go through the support line. SOC down, but maybe this tries to run. We'll see what's up with that. That's an oil and gas play. And this IZEA pulling back to that 337. We'll see if it has any more pullback, but that'll be a good opportunity. GGRP just kind of hanging out right there. It could actually pull back a little bit more. And there you go with some of them. And let me see what PLNT, what Planet Fitness was doing. It's trying to get back in the gym right there, get working out. It doesn't look so bad. And Tractor Supply was looking pretty good. How about Portillo's right here up a little bit, Michael Anthony? That looks like it wants to run. So all these guys looking pretty good. PPC also looking pretty decent right there. How about that? And Tiger was down right there. It doesn't look terrible. DMC is Del Monte. That was also up as well. So, yeah, Michael Anthony's list right here, rocking and rolling. And this PayX has been crazy, guys. What is up with that thing? I'm not sure, but it has been running at 420. They were sitting around smoking in the boardroom, and they're like, we're just going to announce its board has declared a regular quarterly cash dividend of $1.19 per share payable on August 28th to its shareholders of record on July 28th. So you had to be a shareholder a month before, and you'll start getting that dividend right there, Michael Anthony. So how do you like that? As they were sitting around, they were just threw that out there today. Like, that'll help the stock run, and it did. So there you go with PayX, and let's see what you guys are looking at up here. Let's see real quick. Ready for an escalated war? Laptop travel? Yeah, well, it's definitely happening there. That's for sure. BKV is BKV Corp. Not familiar with it, but it doesn't look too bad. It does have resistance right there, but it doesn't look too bad to try to roll up and hit it. CHRD, you remember? Didn't you mention this yesterday? And it's running up a little bit, not looking so bad. That could continue its way up there. And Diversified Energy, DEC right here. And it has a look like it's going to try to roll off the MACD, but I can't exactly tell on that one. DVN, and it looks like they got like almost all these logos right now for on FinViz, so that's pretty cool. But DVN right here was up in the after hours. They have earnings coming up August 4th, and that doesn't look so bad. It's in that channel. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look bad, but it should stay in that channel right there. ET is Energy Transfer. Not E.T. the movie from back in the day. He's going to phone home, or isn't that what he said? Phone home or something like that. I have no idea. I don't remember, but something like that. And their earnings are going to be August 4th. And that is curling up, though. So E.T. is phoning home. Yeah, I think that's what he used to say. He used to ride a bike to the moon. And I kind of remember bits and pieces. But as ET right there, energy transfer, and maybe it's going to transfer some energy and some money upwards there. So there you go with that one. And Fang right here. That's not Fang, though. I don't even know what the heck I just typed in, but this is Fang, that Diamondback energy. Laptop Travels like in these energy plays. This looks like it went ripping up there in the after hours, not looking so bad. So might want to keep an eye on that. HMH holding. It's kind of hanging out. It does look like it wants to get up to the 50 right there. It was up almost 1% today. I don't know if it goes flying tomorrow on a Friday, but it could run up a little bit in INR right there. That should continue its way up towards that 50 area right there. Not looking so bad. And MTDR, Matador Resources, and another one trying to crawl up, not looking bad. Should stay in that old in that channel right there and see what it's going to do tomorrow. And the SPY down a little bit right there. Look at that, 749. So yeah, that thing's dipping down in the after hours right there. So geez Louise, this market looks like it's going to get destroyed, because where's that trend line at? It is at 750s. This thing's falling underneath of it. The next stop right there is 744. And then if it doesn't hold that, I think it might come right down to that 730. And it looks so bullish there today. That's why this market's so difficult, because the SPY looked great and then it pulled back. Qs look like they were coming down, but they are coming down right there. And again, it's a matter that they come down to 700, I think, is inevitable now. And I think you're coming down here like 687, and then maybe you break that. And then that's when this 200's in play, and that could be crazy if that's going to happen. Like I say, that could be a flash crash right there as well. So maybe it happens tomorrow. I have no idea, guys, but keep your eyes open. We'll be doing the market at 7 a.m. You know that. Especially when it looks like this. We have to look at this market in the morning. Anyway, let me get back to Laptop Travel right here. And PR. A lot of companies need PR right now, but this is Permian Resources. I don't know, what do they do PR? I would have to expect. No, it's oil and gas. Go figure, right? And it does look like it's crawling up. Earnings coming up August 5th, but that's not looking bad. So you might be on some oil and gas and all these energy stocks. Sunoco right here was looking good as well. I did mention ExxonMobil earlier, and Chevron both looking good right there too. So I think you are on the something for tomorrow. And let's see how sunny this Sunoco is. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there too. And VNOM, let's see what Viper Energy, and that's another energy, and that does look like it could have some Viper speed right to that 50 right there. So there you go. And as president in 2026, Trump signs executive orders to limit mail-in voting and verify citizens. So yeah, that I don't mind that, actually. And I've told you my story about running in local elections, and it is crazy. And guess what? I ran at that time, that 2020, wasn't that one? Yeah, it was like 2020 was the year all that craziness happened, right? Isn't that the year when it went down? I don't really remember. No, I ran. Or was it 2018? It could have been 2018, and then it was what, 2022? Is that the second one I ran? I don't really remember, to be completely honest with you guys. But anyway, I did run in that election. I know that. That's all I know. And it was crazy. I told you guys the story. Like I said, I took a picture. He's talking about them ballot machines not being able to be manipulated. I told you, I have a picture. I posted it before of a old lady just sitting there opening the back of it and messing with it while somebody was in there voting. I was like, what the heck are you doing? Like, you're tampering with the voting machine. So yeah, I've watched some crazy stuff happen with my own eyes. And not only that, I'll tell you a little insight into elections real quick. So when you run, you also get to have challengers at the polls. And so yeah, you can actually have like a challenger, like somebody at each poll. At least we could. I don't know. I guess they're all kind of different, but we're allowed to have there's allowed to be one for each party. Let's put it that way. You can have an independent, Republican, and Democratic person. You have to get the person to go there and sit there all day. They don't get paid or anything. And so yeah, they just sit there, but they can challenge things. And so if they see something going on, they can actually go over and do, challenge or something and be eyes for you. Let's put it that way, because you can't be at every voting poll at every poll place on election day. It's impossible. Like, my town has like 5 of them, I think. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, but but it is easy to vote. I mean, we just walk in and vote. We never really have to wait in a line. But we do have like 5. So if you're running, you're kind of just like running around to them all, and you really can't even talk to people, but you just like to watch them and see what's going on. But yeah, so when you're running, also, I think I've told you before, you get a pass and you can stay in any of the polls all day. So yeah, you can just sit there all day and watch what goes on. It's crazy, guys. I ran in 2 of them. The second time I had just gotten hit in the head. So the second one was in 2023 when I ran that time, because I had just gotten hit in the head, and that was just for a obviously a council in my town. But yeah, the first one was too. And but I'm trying to remember, was it 2020, I guess, when all that election stuff? I'm guessing that's when it was. I don't really remember, to be honest with you. But anyway, that's what happens. And I have witnessed some crazy stuff, like I said, in the election. So I don't really mind. If anyone's ever run an election, feel free to chime in. It's crazy. And until you actually run in one and you actually see what really happens, because like I explained to everybody that like I know, I say, you just go in there and vote. And I've done this my whole life. I had no idea either until I got to hang out there all day, and you see what kind of circus it is and what's going on. And yeah, you just go in there, sign your name. You don't even show your ID. You just go in there, say what your name is, and then they go, oh, right here, and you go up and you sign your name, and they go, yeah, just go into that booth and do whatever, and then you leave, and that's all you see. But they're there all day, all morning, all night, and a lot of things go on. And these people, before actually, they'd have like certain people running the things, but now like at certain locations they were able to like get people to work certain ones, but now it's like all over the place. Like you have to go to like these crazy classes and stuff, and then they just put you wherever. But there is a lot of people, but it wasn't like the same people that work like with certain parties. And so that was going on as well forever. Like all the people that like sign you in and everything, they're like all part of a certain party. And they have like one thing in mind, and they were told to do one thing, and that's to get as many votes for one party. And so it doesn't matter if you're that a different party, they're going to somehow try to get it to look like you voted for that party that they want you to. Believe me, I watched this happen, and I'll give you a good example of how it happened. And so when I ran, so these people there, so again, they changed it a little bit in the last couple of years. It's a lot more younger people and stuff. They make you go through these crazy classes and things like that. They kind of weeded out a lot of the older people, I guess. There was a few, but not nearly as many as it used to be. So the first time I ran, when all that chaos was going on in the election, there was like, say like all the people working the polls like that day, like where you sign in and stuff, they were all part of one party, let's put it that way. And then so they were all like 80 years old or older as well, and they had all been a part of like the one, the Democratic Club or whatever party, whatever that club's called in town, for like their whole lives. So they're working for a party, right? So anyway, that happens. They're really old. So this is the game that they do. So I was saying how like they try to get you to vote any which way for that party, and they'll do whatever. So when they take you into a poll, they go in there and they're like, oh, you come in here. Well, what they would do is like, say, for example, the one party's on the left hand side, the other party's over there, and they're independents wherever. Well, they would all the time, because I watched them do it, and they're not allowed to do this. They would say, oh, you just closed the thing, and then you just go, and they would take their hand right down their party's column to show the people, oh, you just vote right here. And they just point their finger all the way down, like basically simulating, this is where you vote. And so I'm telling you, they do this all the time. They do it with all the older people and stuff. And I talk to old people, they think if you're like a registered Democrat, you can only vote for Democrats. They've been told that. Like I've heard that from 20, 50 plus seniors, like have told me that, like, oh yeah. I'm like, no, you can vote for whoever you want. Oh no, I can't. I'm a registered Democrat. I'm like, I am too, and I'm running as an independent, and then you can vote. And I vote Republican, so it doesn't matter. You can vote for whoever. Yeah, a lot of people don't even know that they're on there, and especially like older people, like I said. And again, there's a lot of shenanigans that used to go on back in the day, and it never really stopped. It got worse. Just different shenanigans would go on. So anyway, yeah, that went on there. So they had all these old poll workers, and they were all literally part of one of the parties, club in town. I mean, how the hell do you do that? I have no idea. There's zero people from any other club party in town, but this one, all the poll workers, and they're all like ancient. And like, how do you go yell at an 80-year-old person like and say, yo, you're not allowed to do that? Well, I'm crazy, so of course I'd go over nicely and be like, yo, you're not allowed to do this, and then I'd go have to try to file a complaint or like, with the board of elections and say, yo, because they do have somebody that comes in every once in a while, and you say, yo, I documented this 17 times, and the people just keep showing the person where to vote, and I keep saying, can you please stop? You know what they would do? Well, they would take one old person, right? They would let that person do it about 10 times. Maybe it doesn't. And then you would say it like 8 times to them, like, yo, can you please have them stop doing that? And then they'd go, oh, they're old. I'm sorry. They'd just stick another person that would be like 2 years older. And every time they'd put somebody even older. And it was like a game. They already knew that they were going to, it was like chess. And then you're like, yo, this person's even worse. They're like practically pushing the buttons for these people. It would get crazier and crazier. But yeah, that's the game that they'd play. And I'm telling you, you could file a complaint with the Board of Election on anything you wanted to, and you'll never hear back from them. So anyway, that's what goes on in our voting system. And when you're inside the polls all day, that's what you get to experience. And again, that person walks you over, you just select things real quick and walk out of there. You have no idea what's going on all day, but that's what's going on all day. Yeah, it's not very secure. It's not very it's just the worst voting system ever. I've said that since I ran in the elections. I was like, holy cow, this is a disaster. And you can easily see how it can be manipulated. There can be cheating. There can be all kinds of stuff, and especially with mail-in ballots, forget about it. I mean, just forget about it. I told you, we had more votes than registered voters in our town one year. So, and when you start doing that kind of stuff, I mean, they just get completely out of control. They don't even care. They're just like, we're going to win. We're going to win. They don't even think about numbers or anything else. It's just like, have our relatives from other towns come in and they're going to vote. We'll all use this apartment complex address. Who cares? Nobody's going to question it. And even if they do, we have all the poll workers, so they're just going to let them go vote anyway. So it's crazy. So yeah, I can't disagree with what Trump's saying there. And I would like to see our voting system a lot better. I mean, we are America. It's like we are a third world country when it comes to voting. I mean, you go in these voting booths, and now and that's the other thing. Like now at my town, they like got rid of the voting booths, and now you go into like this curtain thing, and they give you a thing, and then you just like jot it down and you like scan it into some machine or something. You're like, how is any of this stuff not like, you're going to tell me that like we already know everything can be hacked, right? I mean, everybody knows that everything can be hacked. So what makes us think that this machine right here is like the only thing that's non-hackable? I mean, everything can be. Just remember what Israel did to Iran. When we bombed them, they hacked into their security, their traffic light system. They hacked into that for over 2 years, guys. They had all their surveillance, everything. They knew exactly when all the leaders were going to be at that place and exactly where they were going to be. They followed every little minute, every detail of what they were up to all the time. They knew everything going on. And they even said that the Israeli special forces probably knew the streets of Iran better than the Iranians. And because they were monitoring it for 2 years and they just had it down to a science. They knew everything going on. They hacked that stuff, guys. They hack into everything. They hack in the drones. They hack everything. What makes you think that voting machine can't be hacked? I mean, what did they put in it that's unhackable? Please tell me what can't be hacked in there and why it's so secure. Because if you can put something in there that's so secure, why the hell aren't you selling that software to every company in the world? I mean, everything else could be hacked, except you're telling me this voting machine that looks like you built it in like 1930 and tried to upgrade it 5 times, and somehow it looks still doesn't look right. But you're gonna tell me that machine right there is the one that can't be hacked? I mean, what are they talking about? None of it makes sense, and just like everything that they try to feed you. So yeah, I agree 100%. Unless, like I'm saying, they can be hacked. It's I've told I don't know if I've ever told this story before. I know I told my wife. There was a kid in my class when I was growing up. I'll never forget this. This was the greatest. I used to think this was the most amazing thing ever. This dude probably can build anything. I wonder what this dude's up to. I just know he was this dude from Pakistan. His name was like, I forget. It started with an I. It was a pretty cool name, actually. He was a cool dude. I used to talk to him all the time. He was like really cool. And then back when I'm growing up, back in like the 90s, say he was in we were in middle school when I met this kid. So say we were in like 5th through 8th grade or whatever. There wasn't too many Pakistani kids like around in my town. Now there's a lot of them. I'm not gonna lie, but back then he was probably one of the few ones. And this dude was like really cool dude. I used to always talk to him and stuff in class, and he was brilliant. I mean, it was like he aced everything. It didn't even matter. So long story short, this is the funny part. He had this watch, guys, and I'm telling you, say it was like 5th, 6th grade. I remember we were like young in middle school. So I don't know how old you are. What are you, 12, 13? I have no idea. But however old you are in like 5th, 6th grade, I'm not sure. But back then, so say I have no idea how old we were, but just say it was like in 1990, 1992, somewhere's in that area, 94. Who the heck knows? Somewhere's in that area, right? This kid had this watch, right? And you know how like back in the day you'd go into class like in the school, and then they would like put the VCR on, and like none of the teachers even know how to use the VCR back then. And then they'd have like that projector thing that they'd try to hook up, and none of them could work that either. And it would take them like 20 minutes to get the thing set up every time. Every time they tried to use it, it was like, you just set this thing up like yesterday in the class before. How does it not still work? You always wondered that, but in your head you were just a little kid and you just didn't know. But now you look back, you're like, how the hell didn't they get it? Was like 3 things you had to plug in every single class. Nobody could ever figure it out. Well, this dude, ready? I know what his name was. It was Ali. That was his name. It was but his last name I forget. It was really, it like almost rhymed. I forget. His first name was like Ali or something like that. Anyway, this dude had this watch, right? It was the craziest looking watch I'd ever seen. I'd never seen anything like it. I swear he could have let bombs off with it. I wouldn't have been surprised. Let's put it this way. So back then, like nobody has this dude, it's like, it looks like, I don't know, say it's like a Casio. I have no idea if it was even a brand. Dude might have built it himself. I really have no idea. But this watch, right? He could literally just like program from his seat. I used to sit next to this kid, and I'll never forget this because it was just so awesome what he did. And so he would get this watch, right? And then the teacher would finally figure out how to put the VCR on in the television. And somehow in 1990s and the early 90s, this dude in my class had a watch, and he could control the television from his watch. I swear to God, I used to watch him do it every single time. It was the greatest thing ever. He did it in every class, and we had all the class. Like, you would always go to classes together. So I used to always sit next to this dude, whatever his last name is. However our seats were, we always like kind of sat next to each other all the time. And again, I used to talk to the dude. He was a really cool dude. And yeah, he'd be like, yo, buddy, you ready for this? And I'd be like, heck yeah. He knew I loved it. It was so funny. And he would just be like, he would just sit there nonchalantly, like they'd get the thing just started up and running, put the volume up, and he'd be like, doop, and he'd just click it, and the TV would turn off like that in like the early 1990s. And the teacher would be like, what did I do? They had no idea. They never knew that this dude did it for like 3 years. I'm not even kidding. It was the craziest thing. I remember the next year we'd come in. I was like, dude, you still have that watch? He's like, oh yeah, I have that watch. And he would still do it. He'd turn them on like in the middle of class. We'd be sitting there taking a test, and the TV would come on. The teachers would just like be bugging out. They'd be like, what is happening? And nobody ever knew. Like this dude, I knew there was like a handful of us that knew. We never said a word. And yeah, this kid literally the early 90s had a watch on his wrist, and he could control the damn TV, the VCR, like everything. And I always used to think, I'm like, dude, this guy, and like I said, he is Pakistani, and not that I think that they're any bad or anything. This dude was really cool. I used to always talk to him. I used to always think, like, dude, this dude could light off bombs like wherever he wanted. This thing's crazy. And that was in the early 90s, guys. And yeah, this kid was like, however old we were, and he looked like he was like, so say we were 12, he looked like he was like 18. I'm not even kidding. It was like the craziest thing. I used to be like, is this dude like really our age, or is like he like an adult, like just hanging out with us in school? I always wondered that. But yeah, this dude had a watch that he could turn off the TV, the VCR, turn up the volume. He could control the entire thing, and he could do it in any classroom. And he even said he could do it at his house. And I'm telling you guys, I could barely get the goddamn remote to work at my house. This dude had a watch that I'm telling you, I think he built it. I'm not even kidding. I never seen anything like it in my life. And that was in the early 90s. How crazy is that? So I wonder what that dude's up to now. Like, did he use that and go build bombs, or did he like do something like really crazy with his knowledge? Because clearly he was brilliant. I mean, he was a brilliant dude. I just remember him being super, super smart. And yeah, that's that. So if he could do that back in the early 90s, this dude Ali, if that was his name, I think it might have been. I don't know, but I'll call him Ali for our story. Ali could definitely hack into our into the stupid voting machine. Let's put it that way, without even a doubt. I mean, this dude was tapping in the TVs and VCRs in the 90s. The hack into a voting machine right now, he'd be like, okay, give me 2 minutes. Here we go. He'd be like, what do you want the numbers to be? And he'd probably just do it like right there. I'm not even kidding. The dude was brilliant. So holy cow, who doesn't think these things can be hacked? I mean, that dude was, yeah, it used to be so funny too. We'd be taking a test, and like, you remember the Scantron things? You'd be filling it all out and stuff. In the middle of a test, this dude would be like, he'd turn on the TV, turn up the volume. The thing would be like super loud. Everybody like looking around. The teacher would be like, what is going on? Like, they always just thought there was problems with the TVs and stuff. They had no idea like what was happening. They didn't know this dude had a watch that could control him, because who would have ever thought in the early 90s that this dude had a watch that could control a television? Nobody. And like I said, I kept my mouth shut. I was always loving it. And he would just like kick my chair or like tap me or something. And I would just sit there and just like look up and look around, like act like nothing was happening, but knew that it was about to happen. And yeah, TVs would go on, they'd go off, all kinds of crazy stuff. So anyway, interesting story. Something I just remembered. I'm telling you, I remember stories now from my past, and from getting hit in the head. Now I finally starting to remember like things that happened to me. And I just remembered that out of nowhere. I have no idea how. We were talking about hacking things, and all of a sudden I just remembered in like middle school, I think it was like 6th grade, I'm not gonna lie, this dude was like literally tapping into the television. But anyway, let's keep on cruising through here. Enough with that story right there, and let's see what else is going on. So we were we watched the Trump thing tonight. That went on. And what did you say? Trump's speech is a grievance dump? Something crazy. I don't know what you were saying there. But anyway, let me run through this because it's getting late. Since we did have the Trump speech on, and let me see what Luis Rodriguez gave us there. And maybe I can find out who that dude Ali is, and we can get him to like use his watch and like control the stock market. Like, yo, can you tap in the? Oh, speaking of which, how about Trump? Is that post or whatever the Wall Street Journal said today, is that real? I know Ben, I seen it like multiple places. Unusual Wales posted it out there. I know when we were on doing the Trend Spider, they mentioned it. And apparently, you know what I'm talking about. Here, I'll go on my X account so I can tell you exactly so I don't mess it up. But apparently, like, Trump is going to sell a subscription so that you can see. Here you go. Oh, no, that was, oh, yeah, the Taco Bell. The lettuce suppliers identified as the possible source of the diarrhea parasite outbreak. Who would have thought that the lettuce at Taco Bell was the thing that would get you? I mean, is that not the craziest thing ever? Where's a crazy meme at for that? I mean, holy cow. Does that make any sense right there? But anyway, let me find. What the heck was it? Here it is. Trump media to sell faster access to president's social. But look at this thing. New service will let traders and investors pay for real-time feed of True Social Post. How insane is that, guys? I mean, that's from the Wall Street Journal. And Ben wrote, well, this definitely wasn't on my 2026 bingo card. First trading cards, then crypto, now paying for faster access to the president's social posts. So yeah, I said, so crazy. I mean, that's insane, guys. If that's really true, I mean, what else do you expect to happen in this world? I mean, that's the most bizarre thing ever. But if that's real, I'm not sure if it is, but if it is, it's nutty. And Samuel Adams is looking really good there, Luis Rodriguez. You're probably sitting back having one of them tonight. How about Domino's Pizza? You're probably eating some of that tonight, too. Even though you live 10 minutes out of New York City, I doubt you're eating Domino's. But look at that thing ripping. Remember, we were talking about that thing back here? It was trying to get set up, but then we stopped looking at it. So I guess that's why I didn't notice it was about to run like that. UNHG did what UNH did right there. And Abv, whatever the heck this thing's called, this one got cruising there today as well. Not looking bad. What did UPS do? That was running up. Wow, look at UPS. It was UPS the one that was. FedEx didn't look so great yesterday, but actually bounced up. FedEx may get cruising right here. That's for sure. UPS, what the heck was I going to do? Oh, Lowe's. That's what I was going to do. Lowe's was up today. I did see that, and Home Depot. So they were both running up as well. Did I even look at Rocket right there? I think I skipped it, Zach. I don't know how, but it was hitting a little resistance. It was up today, and hitting a little resistance, not looking too bad right there. Let's see, Adobe Oracle, we looked at WDAY. That thing's been running around. That does look like it could go up. Salesforce right here was up a little bit. I did see that. That doesn't look too bad either. Not sure what is DXCM, Dexcom. That got ripping right there. Health Canada. Well, Canada, can you put out your stupid wildfire? I mean, holy cow, you can't even breathe around here. It's insane with all the smoke. And then, of course, it's like 100 degrees and it's humid as hell. So between the three of them, you're like stuck in your house, because if you go outside, you feel like you can't breathe and you might drop dead. And you're like, why am I out here? Because it smells like smoke. So Canada, can you get your stupid wildfires under control? I know we have plenty of them too, but at least it's our country. I mean, why are we suffering from? Can we put up a big wall in there, Trump? And can we put up a firewall and keep all that smoke in Canada? That would be nice. But yeah, that shit's crazy. I know Luis Rodriguez was telling me it's bad near him. Who else is it real bad near? Let us know what state you're at and how bad this fire is and the smoke and all that craziness, because it's definitely bad around here. I know that. And let's see what else is going on over here, Luis Rodriguez. OKLS, what is that? Oh, Oklo ETF. What? Oh, short. I was like, Oklo looks terrible. That's the short. That's why. So yeah, that could be a play right there. OKLS, if you like that. And that is short and Oklo ETF right there. PayPal was ripping up there some today, and it did go up over that 56 with that buyout news. And Lucid was bouncing back. Luis Rodriguez called that one. Nice one right there. Dram was dipping pretty good right there. That's for sure. That MU and SanDisk and stuff, we already talked about them. DSGR is Distribution Solutions Group. That one looked like it was getting set up, but it's all the way up here, so it must have been doing something today. It was ripping up there and then just hanging out in the after hours. This to be taken private by LKCM Headwater Affiliates or something like that. So there you go with that one. And LVWR is Livewire Group. And let's see, that one could start to get alive again and start cruising up. It's been beat down right there. That could be a potential penny stock mover, Doge Mama 9, with good old Livewire. Not familiar with Livewire, but there you go. And BERZ, if I type it in correctly, there we go. And that is a FANG something. I don't even know, 3-time inverse leverage something. I'm not familiar with this one, but it does look pretty good to run up. So whatever it's inversing, it looks pretty good. IBM we looked at, and that is trying to bounce up. It doesn't look like it's going to go nutty just yet. Waste Management going nutty, though. That always likes red markets, and that does like to run. And FICO is Fair Isaac. I'm not sure what he does, but not looking so bad. It's an expensive one up there. It did pull back in the after hours, but it was up there today. And so you can check that out. How about Hershey right here? That's looking a lot better to try to run right there. Hershey, HSY. And then, of course, your ISRG, your Initiative Surgical. took a nice dip today in the after hour. So you're watching for a little bounce play on that. And here's our T-Mobile right here. And that is running up. Remember, we were checking this bad boy out, and that is running. Verizon was looking pretty decent, actually. Not that the company's good, they suck, but Verizon running up there, and AT&T right here was looking pretty good. That actually looks good right there for AT&T. So you can keep an eye on the letter T, AT&T. That is looking good. So there you go, Luis Rodriguez. Thank you very much. And let me see what else is going on over here. Nike was looking pretty good. You like that ISRG from that dip right there. And we were talking about Trump's teleprompter kid got caught like trying to bet on Kalshi or Polymarket or one of them two. I meant to pull up Polymarket as a matter of fact, because we were looking at the what was it? What are we looking at? I forget. Oh, the economy one. That's it. We're looking at the rate. That's what it was. I couldn't remember what the heck it was even called. And yeah, this thing, I don't know. That has an interesting look there. I said I was looking at it today. I was looking at it earlier. Is it going to crawl up and jump off a cliff? Is that going to rock and roll to go to 100%? And we see a 25-point increase is what this would be. And I don't think we're going to see it in July, guys. I just don't see it right there. Does have like less. It has 2 weeks left, basically. So we'll be watching it. I just don't see it just yet, but I'll keep you posted tomorrow. That's for sure. If I see something start to give or start to look a little different. And let's see. Let me see. Meanwhile, the cost of everyday items like food, gas, and healthcare continue to go higher. Forget about the drugs. Healthcare insurance is unaffordable. You're not kidding. Yeah, you're not kidding, Luis Rodriguez. Healthcare insurance. Holy cow. That shit, it is unaffordable. And then, like, honestly, all like, unless like you have like a union job or something, even them benefits are getting worse. It's kind of crazy, but they're like the best ones. You can't even buy them anymore. You couldn't buy that if you tried. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. And yeah, it's just all of it's a disaster. So yeah, maybe the medicine's coming down. But you need that to happen too, because these doctors don't have a clue what the heck's going on, and they just write prescriptions for everything. So if it's not lower, you may not be able to afford all 5 that they need to prescribe you to figure out how to cure any, or even not cure anything, how to even help you with anything, because they have no idea what's going on in the medical field right now. The medical community is a disaster, guys. I'm telling you, I learned firsthand, believe me, with a brain injury. I'm telling you, the guy that does vision therapy, he should be the brain specialist. He knew more than everybody, and he's a vision guy. I mean, these guys don't know. He's an older guy, not real old, but he seems to be around for a while, and he knows what's going on. He told me what was wrong with me. I didn't tell him any of my symptoms. It was crazy. I go to like a university, and all the top-notch doctors are supposed to be there. This dude has his own office. He don't even accept health insurance. He's like, nah, you can deal with health insurance on your own. You're just paying out, right? Whether this, no shit, because you're way better than the brain surgeons. You're better than all of them, actually. So why aren't you doing this stuff? And let's see what's going on, Joseph Levy. Let me see what Joseph Levy's up to. I know he's back in his hospital room, and he's in the show. He popped in to say hi. Oh, I didn't even see you in there down here. I'm just going through things, but there you are. There you are right there, hanging around till you see me. Thanks. Glad you posted right there. So you go get some rest. But Joseph Levy is out. He's still in the hospital. He will be getting out, I believe, tomorrow morning. So he got to catch us right there, and I'm glad of that. And let's see, to buy its trade post. Yeah, that's crazy, right? You saw that, Joseph Levy? How crazy is that? You think it's a fake to get Trump another investigation? I don't know what's up with that. It is kind of crazy. Look at the double list on FinViz. Could help to enter the dip. DJT is where Trump posts. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. It's that Truth Social or whatever it's called. But it is wild right there. And you're not eating their Domino's in the hospital there. I don't blame you. I wouldn't even eat Domino's if you have to. You're in New York there, Joseph Levy. You're getting some good food. Galt drop today. I wasn't taking a look at it. It was running up there pretty nice, and it did dip pretty good right there. So you already locked in those profits before you went in. So perfect, good for you right there. And you said it'll go back up in a few days. And then did you see the picture? I did see the pictures you posted on your on the hospital window in Manhattan. It was on your Facebook page, right? I'm pretty sure I did. I definitely saw that stuff. So that wasn't that the smoke or something? I know I saw it because I saw your post. And let's see. You told us about UPS at around 94. And look at that, another 20K profit, like GPB right there. And there you go, UPS around 94. And I know we were looking at it back here. Wasn't down at 94 all the way back there, Michael Anthony? Well, there you go. Michael Anthony liking UPS. I didn't really think it looked that great. I know that they're turning the company around. Well, they're putting a lot of robotic. Actually, they're starting to phase back into that. So you might be right now. I knew it wasn't going to go up just because I knew what was going on in the company. And I don't even trade like that. I just kind of knew that they were just changing everything robotically, AI, getting rid of people, giving people packages and all that good stuff. So yeah, now it could start to really cruise up there now. And so there you go. See, Michael Anthony's giving us winners where you can sleep in bed each morning that still keep many money, he said. So there you go. He said sleep in bed. I could read that part out. The many money is the part that was a little confusing there, Michael Anthony. And so yeah, there you go. And you're getting out tomorrow. You're out. Too bad can't post pictures. If send the picture from your hospital window and your X-ray. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I'll have to go on and save them and then post them out for you if you want. And because I know it was on your Facebook page, I'm not going to pull that up there. So there you go. And that is Joseph Levy, and he's recouping from his surgery there. What was it? Your 7th spine surgery. And he said you're in pain, but it seems to be a lot better procedure this time than the last one. So hopefully this one works out, Joseph Levy, and you don't need any more procedures and surgeries. So we were all praying for you and thinking about you. And, I was checking in. I sent you a few messages there. And I wanted to see how you were doing. So glad you stopped in tonight. And hopefully you're just getting some rest, and you'll be back home and you can hang out and rest up there. And you'll be playing pool in no time, hopefully. So I'm not sure how long your recovery is going to be. I can only imagine. It might be a few weeks or months, so I'd only imagine. But hopefully after that, you're all good to go, Joseph Levy. So there you are. And everything seemed to have gone well so far. So we're glad to hear that. So thanks for stopping by, and keep us posted on how you're doing there. And let me cruise back up here and see what's going on, because you were way down there and there's all kinds of stuff going on here. Holy cow, we got to go through a lot of messages now. All right, let's rock and roll through some messages, everybody. Hold on. Whoa, there's a lot going on, huh? I wasn't even paying attention here. Sorry, guys. But anyway, let me cruise right through. I know we were talking about that stuff, and then the Trump speech was on, and that was we should play a game. Which stocks is he going to pump? Because especially with that article coming out, it's kind of crazy right there. And Jared was saying, don't people have better things to do than what is that? Revin something, some history on bygone elections. I don't even know what that says. I'll try to read that word, but it'll be a nightmare. And let me see what else is going on here. Loading Capital was getting bored there. I know that. And he had Palantir, Nike, and then INTU, which is Intuit. I couldn't think of the name of it. Intuit does look real good right there. Nike looks great as well. And Palantir not looking so bad either. So Loading Capital looking pretty good on them three, that's for sure. And good old Paul stopped in there, and he enjoys our morning content, so he decided to stop by this evening. So appreciate that, Paul. Thank you very much. And Jared's always hanging out now. He started listening not too long ago, and Jared's always tuning in and chiming in, and we enjoy Jared a lot. So I know I was laughing when you said that. Actually, Jared, it's funny. I had gone back and looked at the charts and stuff. I think I had made a video of this. Maybe not. I don't really remember. But I had said a while back, too. I said, I'm pretty sure Trump won that second election that they told him he lost. And he probably just won 3 elections, to be honest with you. So I think he did win 3 elections. I'm not going to lie, Jared. I did say that before. And that was only based on the charting, because at that election, there was more votes again than you'd ever had. And then they all come back down. It looks like something so suspicious going on. You've never had that many votes. And again, I had more votes than registered voters in my town, so I think we had more votes than registered voters in the country, but nobody even knows how many numbers that would be because they can't keep accurate track of any of it because, again, they have no idea what's going on in the vote. They don't want you to know what's going on in the voting system, just like Trump said. If you're not voting for having IDs and everything to run as smooth as possible, then you're trying to cheat. Like, why? Even if I lose, I still don't care. Just run the thing smooth, run it the correct way, and let's find out who wins. The winner wins. Who cares? I mean, in every competition, there's a winner and a loser. It's not the end of the world. We're all adults. We've all figured this out after all these years. It's perfectly fine. But don't like rig things, cheat, and do everything else that they're doing. And that's what goes on right now. It's just, and I'll tell you why, because the political power equals money, and these people are all greedy and they want to stuff their pockets with money. So that's what generally happens. And there you go. So anytime there's money involved, there's usually greed. Look at the VFW, what I uncovered there. And they were getting money stolen from left and right from the veterans and all kinds of crazy stuff. And speaking of that, I'll tell you, I got to do that baseball video. I mean, holy cow. I told you about the baseball in our town, how crazy it is. I know I told you about that one night. But oh my goodness, the people there that run it they must be out of their minds. I'm telling you, like they think this they think coach pitch and kids baseball must be like the greatest thing ever. I have no idea. It's so bizarre to me, but people obviously have like no no how could I say this halfway nicely? No idea how to treat people like human beings. Let's put it that way. I mean, people are completely whacked out of their mind. Like I say, like I talk about the fact that I've run in like our elections and stuff. And I even tell you, like the people that run our town, they're not exactly too fond of me. I know that. And look what I do. But it's fine. I don't really care. But I'm nice to them all. And they're nice to me too. I always shake their hand and say hello. It's always all good. And I even say, like, if our mayor or any of them were like pulled over on the side of the road because they had a flat tire, I'd stop and help them. Like who cares? They're human beings, and that's what you do. You don't worry about politics and nonsense like that. When at the end of the day, we're all people, and like you have your viewpoints and stuff like that, and that's what it is. Yeah, the people in our baseball, I mean, holy cow, they don't want this guy to they don't want a guy to coach. A guy and his wife to coach. And these people, I told you guys, these people they coached this team, and they basically only lost. They only lost one game in 2 years, and they've won every single championship they played in. As a matter of fact, I went to the last championship game. It was tied up going into the last inning, sixth inning, and I think the other team ended up tying the game up. It was like a 1-run game or 2-run game. I think the other team tied it up. And then our town team came out and just pounded 10 runs in the extra inning and then put a 1-2-3 inning down in the bottom half. And that was a wrap. They won the championship. And I'm telling you, this team is like so good. It was insane. And yeah, these coaches, they don't want them to coach because their team beats their teams in the championships and beats them in their league and everything. I'm like, what? Like, and I'm not even kidding. It's to the point I explained it. Like, they've literally, like, the people that run the baseball have literally filed police reports, and Oprah requests them. I mean, they're public knowledge. I've done, you don't want to file these things like an idiot, because unless you absolutely like have to, like someone threatened your life or something crazy, and like still like you're just like, do I really need to do this? Like they like are like filing multiple police reports, and in the police report, I'm not even kidding, I've read them with my own eyes. It says the guy's name, and it says we've instructed him how to properly do a police report or whatever it says. It says it on every single one. There's like 4 of them or something, maybe 3, 4, 5. I forget exactly, but there's more than one. Let's put it that way. And yeah, they're like literally filing police reports about this guy because they don't like him. I'm like, what is going on? Could you imagine? Like, that's insanity, guys. Like, is that not the craziest shit you ever heard of? So yeah, just think of like what kind of crazy stuff goes on around you, because you really don't even know all these things unless someone kind of points them out or tells you or anything. I found out because I did that VFW video, and I found out everything that goes on around here. And that was like the biggest thing was like the baseball in my town. Like, I got so many messages, and again, I told you, like, it just got like a whole new leadership people, and I don't know. I guess they just like ego. I guess it's a power boost. I have no idea. I just don't understand it, to be honest with you. Like I said, I coach all the teams. I do everything. I help out. I go and do whatever they need, the cleanup day, whatever they need help with. Who cares? You just go, show up, and help, and you don't give anybody problems, and you treat everybody like they're there to help out because they're volunteering, and you're really nice to everybody, and you try to have a good time, and you're there for the kids. Like, could you imagine, like, you're filing police report, like false reports? Like, I actually saw the documentation from the report, and it all spelled it out that it was a false report. I know for a fact because I saw it. And do you imagine filing false police reports on like a guy that coaches because you don't like him or like he beats your team? Like, even if you didn't like the guy for whatever reason, who can? Could you imagine going and filing a false police report? And I'm telling you, it literally says it. And I'll say why it technically is. He like makes it so bland, or like, oh, I think this happened, and it's like, you can't think something happened when you're filing a police report. It either happened or it didn't. You're filing a police report. This is like, documentation that can go into court. So you don't think it happened, it happened, and you're filing a report because something happened. And so, yeah, they literally say, Mr. whatever his last name is, I'm not going to say it, but yeah, we've informed him on how to the proper procedure for filling out police reports. That's what it says, because he won't do it correctly. It's crazy, guys. I'm telling you, it's insane. But anyway, let's keep on cruising through our market. You think my town's crazy? The market's even crazier. I mean, this is insane. what a story. Holy mackerel. Yeah, and I heard something else today about all of them. I was like, oh my goodness. The team that won the championship supposed to get like acknowledged by the town and all, and which is nice. Like, the mayor and the council brings them all in and they acknowledge them and stuff, which is nice. They might even give them like plaques or whatever they give them. It's super cool. I'm not gonna lie. They do it for all the sports teams if they win championships or anything. It's nice. And so they were I heard that the team's supposed to go there, and the coaches the two coaches wouldn't be able to make it, so they just asked them if they could make it the like next time, which wouldn't be a big deal. Obviously, no one would care. And they apparently, like, the people that run baseball were like, oh, we tried to, but we can't. And then like the people that run the town were like, nah, they definitely didn't ask us. So they like lied to these people again. They're just trying to screw with these people, and it's so crazy. It's like, these people had a team that just undefeated like almost 2 years in a row. They lost one game in every championship they won. And you don't want them to be a coach in town. Like, could you imagine that, guys? Because you don't like these people. Like I said, I mean, that's crazy. So just think keep that in the back of your mind. If you're ever doing sports, kids sports, or anything in life, I mean, just to think that way, to have that kind of mindset towards somebody is kind of really bizarre. You got to be a weird person. I'm not going to lie. Like I tell you, I know the people in my town don't like me because I've run against them, and I put videos out and all kinds of good stuff. But whatever, like I said, I'd help them do whatever. It's just being a human being and the way you should be. So there you go. Just a little side story, since we're talking and babbling today, and it's a lot of fun. So since we had Trump on tonight, I should interview him. Could you imagine if I interviewed him? The both of us could talk forever. I mean, that could be like that could be a 10-hour interview. I could just sit there and talk to that guy forever. And then I'd be like, can I get your number so you could text me like the next time you're going to do a crazy pump, so you could just let me know I don't care if it's just one time. Just let me know ahead of time before you do something crazy like that. And then we could all bank money and go do whatever after that. But anyway, let's get through these, because let's see what else is happening. Michael Anthony said after Trump's speech that the tech's selling off hard. Is it really, Michael Anthony? I have no idea. You could be absolutely right. I have no clue. I'd say the Dow and everything's down pretty good. I have no idea what they're doing, but we'll look tomorrow morning, obviously, because I don't know if I'm going to get like the overnights. Luis Rodriguez usually has all them in Laptop Travel, so I'm not exactly sure, but I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, you didn't say anything to pump the market. You were talking about SMPL. I know you were mentioning it today when I was on in the Trend Spider, and it says it was up. It doesn't even look like it was up, but it says it was up here. So That's interesting, to be honest with you. It really doesn't look like it was up at all. And honestly, Michael Anthony, it doesn't even look like it really wants to pop right there just yet. So I'm not so sure. You might be on to something. Don't get me wrong. It's trying to. I'm just not sure if it's ready to pop yet tomorrow. Watch for a little dip right there. And you said it's a food that beat with profits of 42, that raise outlook, that one insider bought 80,000 shares at 1239. And with upgrades to 14 and 15, that two funds bought CAG, KHC, and HRL is a sector to be in. And I know KHC is going to be Kraft Heinz. And weren't they going to change their name and like separate? I remember that from like last year, but I've never seen them do it because it still says Kraft Heinz all the time. I have no idea, but is it two different companies? I'm not sure, but yeah, that's running up there right there at the moment. What is CAG? That Congra? You've mentioned this one before. That does look really good right there, Michael Anthony. And let's see what HRL is at. Hormel? I thought so. And that's Hormel. These food ones are looking pretty good, Michael Anthony. You're definitely onto that. Pepsi was ripping up there. I thought of you today when I saw that. Coca-Cola was looking pretty good as well. And your fizz, you mentioned this. I talked about it on that Trend Spider. That is looking good. That looks like it's going to fizz up some more right there. So that could be fizzing. And there you go, Michael Anthony. So thank you for those bad boys. And let's see your response to the entire speech. Cool. Okay, so what are you going to do about it? I know, right? Well, we'll see what he does about it. Again, I guess he's really trying to get that safe. What is that? Whatever he's trying to get Congress to pass. But I think we do need voter ID. I mean, it is kind of crazy. I mean, the fact that you just walk up and tell them a name, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, you can just go vote." And like I said, I've watched like the mayor's relatives that do not live in town use the apartment complex right next to where they're voting from, not give an apartment letter or anything, just use the address, the basic address, and get to be allowed to vote. So I've watched it happen, guys. I'm not gonna lie. But whatever. What are you gonna do? And let's see what else is going on here. UVE and Root are insurance sectors. That looking good right there. I didn't really check out that sector, but let's see. It took a nice dip right there for that. That's ROT. If I could spell Root, it would help. That looks pretty decent. That could bounce back up. What about that UVE? That was it's trying to bounce back up. I'm not so sure though. It looks like it's trying to. I'd have to look at it tomorrow. And you got that Pepsi back under 135 right there. So there you go. And mountain climbing with Trump, he's almost at the peak, and then you're still climbing your rope phrase, and Trump cuts the rope and continues his climb to the top. And yeah, I'd say so. That's about what would happen if you were climbing a mountain climbing with him and you got messed up. He'd be like, "All right, I'll help you. See you later. You're out of here." And Gemini Pro has reportedly fallen short of internal benchmarks, specifically struggling with complex coding capabilities. They should hire me. I'll help them out. I'll be like, "Here, just do this." And I have no idea what I'm talking about or know how to code, but I know you can make this thing work because I use it and it is good. And SpaceX is getting destroyed right there. And we did see, we were talking about it last night for a while. And delays like this damage the narrative that Google is closing the performance gap with rivals like OpenAI and Anthropic, triggering immediate investor anxiety right there. And Fizz, KDP, KR, SFM, and SMPL was up in after hours. So there you go. From our buddy Michael Anthony, and I don't think we looked at, isn't that Keurig? Yeah, Keurig is this one, KDP right there, Dr. Pepper, Keurig, Dr. Pepper right there. That's looking pretty good. Dr. Pepper is pretty good. Here's Kroger right here. That's looking pretty good too. What was that, Sprouts? Is that SFM? Yeah, that's SFM right there. That was looking pretty decent yesterday to try to get set up. It is still trying to get set up right there. So there you go. And let's see, Gemini, there's no limit. You hit a wall with other models like Anthropic where they prompt you to start a new comment. I know they actually do that. You're actually right, Luis Rodriguez. I've never had Gemini tell me to start a new conversation or do anything. It just makes images and videos and whatever the hell else you want. Yeah, kind of crazy, huh? SMCI can drop back below 20. I won't disagree with that one at all. And you guys know how I feel about that. And Himmix right here. Is that what did I type in? Is that and the okay, no, I was thinking it was the Hims and Hers ETF, but this thing looks like it's dipping down too. Hims and Hers, it looked good yesterday. I didn't look at it today. That dipped down. That hit a wall right there. Definitely dipped down for sure. And Google lost Italy cases where the government held them liable for third-party content when Google places ads on content creators' videos, huh? Third-party content. That's interesting right there. What, they have like some crazy content ads or something? You do sometimes see some crazy content ads, that's for sure. But I mean, I I guess you can blame the person that puts it on there. So it would be Google. CoreWeave dipping down right there. I think we did check that one off. And just keep, you said it keeps selling off. That never made a dime. I love when you say that. They never made a dime. And then Palantir right here will be dropping back anytime near 100. You don't like Palantir, Michael Anthony? I'm surprised. I thought you were a big Palantir fan here. It's actually not looking too bad. I would say it could get up to that area. We'll see tomorrow. It doesn't look too bad. I don't know if it's going to go blasting off tomorrow on a Friday, but it doesn't look so bad. And what did you say? I think you tried to say stay far away from Bitcoin and the rest going to clash, but I'm pretty sure he said crash. If I had to guess, that's what Michael Anthony was trying to say. And Kramer pumped that Bloom Energy, huh? Let's see what happened. And then it went falling down yesterday during the lightning round, huh? Well, that helped out, didn't it? Bloom Energy. Wow, Kramer. I mean, that's a little crazy for Kramer. Kramer's like, hey, guys, everybody get in here because I need you guys to do something and buy BE. It looks beautiful. And everybody went in this morning, and we're like, oh, Kramer did say Bloom Energy is looking good right here. And then all of a sudden, Bloom Energy went like this. Thanks, Kramer. Thanks. I appreciate that, Kramer. So there you go, Kramer during his lightning round. I think he got struck by lightning when he saw that bad boy. Let's see. What did it look like yesterday? Yeah, it didn't look like he wanted to bounce yesterday. So I don't know what he was looking at. And he said, buy, buy, buy. And I'd say, no, no, no. It's dipping, dipping, dipping right there. So there you are. And let's all wake up right here. No profit. If no profit to selling and all, and even biotech ETF like XBI back to 127, like ABCL and ABEO will hit this year's lows. I have no idea what you're even saying right there, actually, Michael Anthony. I'm not sure what your point is. I read it. It's a bunch of words. This is your biotech ETF. I am familiar with that, but I'm not sure what you're talking about, Michael Anthony. So I wish I knew. What's he saying there, Luis Rodriguez? Does anyone know what he's trying to tell me? I'm not sure. That does look like it's dipping down too. And ABEO right there could take a nice dip. So I'm not sure exactly what you're saying in that conversation, but you're saying something. And I looked at them. There's Hubs right here. Good old HubSpot. And Laptop Travel said that's his gift for you guys tonight. So keep an eye on good old Hubs, and maybe that'll get cruising some more tomorrow. I'll have to write that one down to look at that in the morning right there. Hold on. Give me 1 second. HUBS right there. So I'll take a look at that. And Michael Anthony, let's see. What did you say? Soxus, SQQ, and TZA. You're with you. I'm with you on this one. So Michael Anthony saying the market's going to dip, and semiconductors right here as well, because this is your bear and it is going up right there. They just reverse split it yesterday too. Look at that. So it is starting to move right after the reverse split. And there's your SQQ right here, dipping or not dipping down, going up, as a matter of fact. And your TZA looks like that just split as well. That's an interesting one. The small cap bear right there, that's for sure. Because that IWM right there, I mean, that is an interesting look, but does look like it wants to come down, and Qs do look like they want to come down as well. So that's what it looks like. Adobe value hunters and institutional buyers are stepping in, betting that the downside risk is fully priced in and that the market is drastically oversold, a highly profitable monopoly or something like that. And Adobe right here, let me see. What's it look like? Oh, Adobe does look great right there, Luis Rodriguez. I agree with you. I already wrote it down. Nike was looking great. So just do it. and Adobe PE ratios dropped to the low teens, and that's a huge discount compared to its 5-year average. Let's see what Adobe looks like over here. Trying to curl up and not looking so bad right there. So yeah, I'd say Adobe's looking good. Oh man. All right, let's see what else is going on. Pepsi was up. We did see that one. And let me see, Doug, that report saying like certain software won't work on Hood platform. Oh, is that what that was saying? Thank you. So you were clearing that up for me. Appreciate that. That's what this was saying. Anthropic's ODE AI services launch triggers software disruption fears slamming Hood. So they're saying like Anthropic's this thing won't work for Hood. Is that what you're saying? I'm not even sure. But I needed Michael Anthony to clear that up for me. I need somebody to clear up what Michael Anthony's saying. So that's intriguing right there. And KDP, Fizz, and them guys, we looked at all of them already, so we checked all them out. Pedvico right here is an oil and gas. That could go up a little bit. And let's see what it looks like on the daily. Oh, that was dipping down right there, but it could bounce back up. What did you say it's going to do? We'll be going up, and MGY still has upside, and I forget what that was. Magnolia Oil and Gas right there. So there you go, an oil and gas play. And G and W is Genworth Financial. That's ripping right there. That could continue its way up, as a matter of fact. And what about Aflac right here? That's ripping too. Look at Aflac. That thing's looking really good right there. So keep an eye on that. CLX is Clorox. Whoa, Clorox looks good too. Look at that bad boy setting up for good old CLX. And let's see, what is he going on about that should looking at charts? Michael Anthony does not like when I talk about anything besides the stock charts, guys. And FG has great fundamentals, but could be top range to go to 36 or so. I think we looked at this yesterday, Michael Anthony. F&G annuities or something. Yeah, look at that. That was a nice call. You mentioned that yesterday right there. And then we did talk to Joseph Levy, we're thinking about him. And look at the double list on FinViz, could help to enter the dip. DJT. And is it true that old news? I'm not sure what he's talking about right there, but you did mention that good old UPS right there, and it was ripping up there. And let's see what else is going on. Joseph Levy had popped in. We were talking to him, thinking about him. Hopefully he gets discharged tomorrow morning and starts feeling much better. Tech already down over 400 points, and that you did say that it was going to be down 500 to 1,000 on Tech. That IBM will sell right back off right there, Michael Anthony. So there you go. And Joseph Levy got 2 rods added to the 2 rods he already has in his spine, and it looks funky as hell. Recovery time's going to be anywhere from 2 to 3 months, guys. Wow. Well, hopefully them 2 rods are the last 2 rods you need. And everything's like reinforced, and your spine's like your Metal Man now, and like nothing could break it. So hopefully you're all good. We're thinking about you, Joseph Levy, that's for sure. And Michael Anthony said Palantir is going to fall hard. He said tomorrow, and would like to make a bet that he's right. Let's see. What do you want to bet, Michael Anthony? Let's see what it looks like first before we go back. Oh, it's already dipping there, Michael Anthony, in the after hours. I didn't even notice that. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, you could be right. If it's down to 132 right there, that doesn't look that great. I couldn't disagree with you that it could go down. You probably will go back down to that 20 right there. And let's see. You only got to figure out about winners and losers after you become an adult. When one type of kid, everyone is a winner. That's so true. Today, all the kids are winners. You're right about that, Joseph Levy. And I think it's the dumbest thing. I also say, I'll tell you, I think I've mentioned it before because I come home from baseball or t-ball or whatever and tell you, like, every kid, like after the game, the kids play t-ball, and like a parent from each, one parent each game has to make up like the snack pack. It's like insane, guys. It's like a drink box and like bag of chips and like 4 or 5 things, like all this crazy snack stuff. It's like the kids just stood out there for like an hour, and now they come in and get a snack pack every single game. Like, just take them over to the stand and buy them like $1 like lollipop or whatever the heck you want to buy them. Like, It's so crazy. It's like everyone just wants to waste money on stuff. Like the kids do not want, or they want it. Don't get me wrong, but they don't need it every single game. It's like, what are we giving them? It's insanity, guys. So, yeah, that drives me nuts. And I'm all about them winning and losing. Trust me, it's part of growing up and learning how to be a participant in sports and also learning about life. I mean, you're not always going to win. It's sometimes you're on really good teams and you win, and sometimes you're not on the best team and you don't win. And that's just the way it is. So you got to kind of cope and deal with it all. And I'm glad I did play a lot of sports growing up. I was on really good teams. We had undefeated years. We did win a lot, but you also lost, and you got to learn what it was like to lose and have good sportsmanship, shake the other person's hand and say, hey, great game. You guys were better than us this game. That's the way it works. There was a lot of games where we were better than you, and that's just the way everything works in life. So everybody has their moment to shine, and some days are better for others in that moment. And, that's why there's winners and losers. Look, World Cup right there. We're going to see the best two teams that ended up being the best two teams throughout the entire tournament. The U.S. just didn't even show up to that game against Belgium. I mean, Belgium just wiped them out. They destroyed them that game. And, yeah, maybe if they had played a little bit better and beat them, they could have continued on. But Belgium didn't go on either. So, obviously, they weren't the best teams. And, yeah, that's how it works. And they were both had to go out there and say, hey, we gave it our all. That's what we did. And we got beat. The other team was better, obviously. And that's just how life works. That's how life works, guys. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't walk around and win everything all the time. It's like, I don't think anybody's ever done that. So you got to get used to losing at some point. So you might as well get used to it while you're a kid. So I do not agree with all that nonsense, to be honest with you. Like all these kids are, they win at everything and all that stuff. It drives me crazy. But anyway, there you go, Michael Anthony. I know you love when we talk about that. And all those that on margin that will be called that they must sell Palantir in a tech bubble. That tech will open 500 down tomorrow. That high oil puts the USA in a recession that people have less money to spend. Well, people definitely have less money to spend right now because everything's astronomical. So, I mean, you're not going to have – I mean, your energy bills, like I say, Luis Rodriguez knows what I'm talking about. Anyone in the East Coast or New Jersey, of course, probably all over the East Coast. I have no idea, but – the energy bills are just ridiculous, guys. They're like as much as your mortgage payments now. It's like now I got a mortgage payment and I have an electric bill, which are basically the same price. It's like, holy cow, what just happened to the electric? It's not like I started using more of it, that's for sure. I mean, holy mackerel. But anyway, what about GFuzz? I have no idea what this is. And what are you talking about? It just came public and that Cold Fusion selling off, but has cash. I don't know anything about that bad boy. That's for sure. And elections must be from USA and not Mexico. What the heck are you talking about there, Michael Anthony? I have no idea what he's saying. Google right here is falling and can't go up. And, yeah, it didn't look good today afternoon. That definitely did fall down. PayPal's board considers the joint $53 $53 billion takeover offer from Stripe and Advent International to be inadequate. So there you go. Wow, look at that. PayPal turning it down. They said we want more money than that. And let's see what that's going to do to the stock chart. IGV will help software stocks sell off like Palantir and GEHC. I'm not even sure what that is. GE Healthcare, that's looking good. Obviously, some of these healthcare ones. You love Kramer there, Michael Anthony. He is your buddy. And you actually text him. You told us. And Joseph Levy, he loved the sound effects right there. Look at that. Which one did we even look at? I forget. What the heck? Oh yeah. When Kramer told everybody to buy Bloom Energy, he was like, guys, go out and buy Bloom Energy yesterday. All right, Kramer. Oh my God, Kramer. How do we listen to you? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, look at that thing today. It went down over 13%. I mean, nobody's perfect, but everybody knows what Kramer does, so it's laughable. And so, yeah, there you go. That just sold off. XBI down right there. That's your biotech. We were talking about that. RVI is owned by Hood, and that's crashing. I have no idea. What is RVI? Robin Hood Ventures Fund. No, that is dipping down right there. Fly. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's try to cruise through. Firefly right here, that's pulling back pretty good, but all space stocks are getting destroyed. Red Wire, everything was getting rocked down there today, so that was happening. And what is Utz, the potato chip brand right here? Let's see. Food that could climb to 11. So there you go from Michael Anthony. He likes his Utz. And your bill's only like what is now anywhere between 2 to 230. That's it. Holy cow. Joseph Levy, if that's all our bill was, I'd dance out in the street every day. I mean, ours is like triple that, dude. It's insane. Sometimes quadrupled. I bet this month with the heat wave and everything, I bet it's going to be quadruple that. I'm not even kidding. It'll be pushing 6 to 8. It'll be over 6. I know that. It'll be probably pushing $800 for my electric bill, guys, just because we have to run the air conditioner. I'm telling you, it's insane. It's not just me. I mean, it's like everybody around. Even the people with solar, it's not even helping them. It's like it's pretty bizarre, to be honest with you. So, there you go. And let's see. What are you saying? Utz makes potato chips. Yeah, I'm familiar with Utz. Utz potato chips. I mean, everybody knows that logo right there. And there you go. How about that? So Utz potato chips, we'll end it right there because it's 10 after 11. And we had a pretty good time today. Let me see if I got to everything. If I missed anything, I apologize. I think I tried to scroll through and get to everybody. I know I mentioned Jared and Laptop Travel and Luis Rodriguez. And, of course, Loading Capital and Michael Anthony was tuning in and chiming in, and our buddy Joseph Levy, we're thinking about you. Hopefully you're all good. Walk out of the hospital tomorrow and you're all good right there. And wow, yours used to be anywhere from 99 to 190. Well, mine used to be where yours is now, Joseph Levy, and I was fine with that. Trust me, I was perfectly fine. But yeah, mine will literally be like $600 to $800 this month and next month because we were in a heat wave. And it's like over 100 degrees. And you go to bed. Get some rest, Joseph Levy. And we'll think about you. We'll mention you tomorrow morning as well. And you rest up. And, yeah, hopefully you're all good to go after that surgery. So, but, yeah, I wish. I mean, could you imagine Luis Rodriguez, could you imagine that kind of electric bill right now? 99 to 190. Like I said, I'll take that one any day. 2 to 230. Shit. You send that right over to me, Joseph Levy. I have no problem with that electric bill at all. I'd be more than happy to pay that, to be honest with you, if you see what ours are. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. It's going to be like $600 to $800 for the next 2 months just because we're on a heat wave and the stupid temperature is like literally, it feels like it's 107 degrees. Your like you can turn up your air conditioner, and I do this just so there's not as much condensation and humidity because your air conditioner is only going to work so much. And if you keep the temperature way down, it'll actually create more humidity and make it worse. So as the temperature's creeping up, just raise up your air conditioner a little bit. You know it's not coming down. Like when it's 110 degrees out, it's not making the temperature 74 in your house. Let's put it that way. I mean, it's going to be like 82 degrees in your house. But when you go outside and it's 110 and you walk back in, yeah, it feels really nice. Trust me. And 82 feels like it's 60. So, but if you raise up your air conditioner with it, it won't work the air conditioner. So it'll still run it, but the amount of humidity and stuff that it's trying to kick out is it just works it better, trust me. But you send me your profits from the stock market and I'll send you your electric bill. You got it there. How about that? Deal. But yeah. But yeah, our electric bills are insane, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it's just absolutely astronomical anymore. So, and like I said, like a lot of my neighbors have solar. My one neighbor doesn't even want the solar anymore, but she's locked into like a 30-year agreement or something. She's like, I'm gonna be gone before this thing's even expired. And she's older, obviously, but yeah, crazy stuff. That's not even helping. But there you go, Joseph Levy. Enjoy your night, Michael Anthony and Laptop Travel, and of course Luis Rodriguez and Jared and everybody else that tunes in. We always have consistency spikes and Loading Capital's always hanging out. Valerie and Zach, he's always hanging out. And Doge Mama 9, of course, she's always here. Izzy 6GSF, he likes to hang out. He's a great dude, too. And everybody else that's tuning in. And, of course, our Joseph Levy, you get well, Lewis in Utah, and everybody else. You enjoy your evening right there. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, enjoyed the little Trump speech, even though it was mostly about voter stuff. And like I say, I don't mind them having voter ID for us to vote in this country. It kind of makes a lot of sense. Let's put it that way. So anyway, with that, we'll end the show because we will be back early tomorrow at 7 a.m. to see what this pre-market's going to look like. And Michael Anthony keeps telling us this market's going to be down tomorrow. And like I keep telling you, the Qs look like they're going to be down tomorrow, and they are dipped down right there in the after hours. They do not look good to bounce up. So we'll be watching all of that tomorrow morning, guys. Be sure to tune in at 7 a.m. And all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And there you go. Eric, what is Eric? I look at Michael, and he just pops in with like Eric. He's like, hey, look at my buddy Eric over here. What? This is that one that has that crazy name. I remember this before. I didn't remember that's what it was, but it does have a crazy name. Look at this thing. Telephonic, and then it's like, are these letters silent? I have no idea. Is that case? I have no idea what's going on with this word, but that's an interesting one, that's for sure. Where was it? Sweden. That's where it was. And yeah, that's a fascinating word right there. That's for sure. I don't know what it says, but that's the name of the company. And that's it right there. Ericsson. Oh, that's Ericsson. Let's see. What is this thing? I have no idea. Has a crazy name. Ericsson. Do we have to accept these things? Exit. Can we exit? I have no idea. Oh, we need that in English though, huh? I don't want to do all that. All right, we're Xing out of this stupid thing. I hate with all the cookie things and all that. That's that's Ericsson, the cell phone maker. Well, thank you, Joseph Levy. I had no idea that's who it was, but they missed, huh? And that's dipping down right there. But Verizon and AT&T and all them guys are looking pretty good. But that's Ericsson, the cell phone maker. So there you go. Thanks for that info there. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button and follow along, that's for sure. And you can retweet it out if you like the show and post it and do whatever. But, yeah, appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you so much. And be sure to show up at 7 a.m. tomorrow for our Friday morning pre-market show to see what this crazy market's going to do. It should be a bloodbath, I would assume. But when you think like that, guys, sometimes it likes to bounce up. But I don't know. We may have, like, what do you think, Laptop Travel and guys? You think we might have like a wicked crash right here tomorrow, like one of them like big spike downs? I don't know. We could. I'm not going to lie. And once you said Telefunk, is that what I called it before? I have no idea how to even what that's even called. Telefunk, is that what I called it? That is Telefunk right there. That's what I would say, like Telefunk. But honestly, Telefonica Thai Bowl jet. What the hell? I don't know. I'll call it Ericsson. It's way easier. Could you imagine if that was like really the name that they went around and talk and discuss? Like they're like, this is the name of the company. Everybody like, all right, well, just might as well go out of business now because no one can even pronounce it. That's for sure. So we'll call it Telefunk. It's a lot cooler. How about that? Thanks, Joseph Levy, for reminding me. I had no idea I even said that before. And there you go. So you guys tune in tomorrow. We'll see what else crazy things I say, and we will check out the market and see what opportunities we have. And you guys enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you guys at 7. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good night, everybody.